Well, the time is now 4:11, and it just dropped off at the airport, as you can tell. I had a busy night. Very busy night. Was non-stop till about 12:30. Non-stop. I mean non-stop. I mean, at 1 o'clock I had $300 on. Then, well, it was still reasonably busy. I have not counted the money in a while, but I'm probably well over $400. So my last customer was this old guy who lives in Ottawa, but he was here with his sister, visiting his sister because his sister had a stroke, and he was taking care of her. And when we got there, there was a guy standing outside the car looking like he had to pee real bad. And so I helped my customer with his luggage, and the guy who was standing outside the car thought that, well, he was in one of our cars and he lost his phone. And so I had to call our office to send a message to that cab to turn around and bring the phone back. So apparently he turned around, and he's coming back to the airport with the guy's phone that was left in the cab. And yeah, I still have almost 2 hours to go. Wow. I did get some sleep in the morning. I think I had a 1 hour or an hour and a bit break. And I think I had another hour before that. You know, I went to sleep 2 or 3 times already. Yeah. Well, not much else to say. This is the Sunday night. This was the beginning of my week. And I got 4 more nights to go. Oh, there goes that other cab right there. Or there goes another cab. Maybe it's the one with the phone in it. Yeah. All right. What a difference half an hour makes. This place is crowded and stupid right now. But we're here at the airport again, half an hour later. As I was on my way into town, I got intercepted by another time call, and I had plenty of time to get to it. And as I'm getting there, the customer calls me, "Do you know where it is?" I said, "Yeah, I'm almost there." So I find her, and she came to the airport. So a second trip to the airport in a row. Yeah. Well, this was a shorter one. This was only $20 because it was not from town. It was from out here on the peninsula. So twice in a row at the airport in the same morning. This was the Monday night. Things were going steady until about 10:30, when I got a call and the customer went out to the Western Communities. It was a good fare. It was about $40. I dropped him off, and then I got sent to an even more remote location. Picked up these 3 guys and took them, 2 of them, to an even more remote location. And the 3rd one went even way out into the sticks. And from there, I had to deadhead it back into town. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to be in my favorite spot, so I could watch some videos and maybe take a nap. And of course, I did watch some videos, and I fell asleep. And this thing would beep at me every half hour because I didn't touch it, because of inactivity. That's what it says. So I had cleared from my last trip at 11:30. Just after midnight, I was at my favorite spot, and at 3:35, so that's 4 hours since I cleared from my last trip, I got a call. It was a time call for 3:45 to go to the airport. Time is now 4:08. So I got effectively just under 2 hours to go. And I've got, I don't know, $230 on maybe. I'll have to count that. It's one $10 bill, and the rest of it is Interac and credit card. All plastic. I'm well rested, yes. I got a good 3 hours of sleep in, which was nice. And so I've got no complaints. There was no stress tonight. It was just right. Compared to the Sunday night, which was just panics the whole way. Yeah. 3 more nights to go this week. Well, it's 3:51 in the morning, and this is a Wednesday morning. I just got through the Tuesday night. Now, this is interesting. You know how I've been complaining about being overworked, and complaining about being busy, and complaining about not having enough drivers, and yeah, it's been going on and on and on and on. Could this be the turning point? Could this be it? Because we had a relatively slow night. We had my favorite part of town. I'm usually first or second. A few times I was fifth, and once I was even seventh. And I had nice long breaks between calls. And I had a couple of better trips, trips that were longer, in the $20, $30 range. And then I just didn't fret. I just kept watching videos and sleeping, and I watched all the videos, all the new videos on my 3 channels, all the new videos that were that I was subscribed to, and I started getting into the watch later list. Wow. And the watch later list is, 5 years deep, because every time I see something that I like or would like to see but don't have the time right now, I always click on it. So it's always videos that are like 45 minutes to an hour and something long. So anyhow, I was just relaxing. Oh shit, I should turn this off, eh? I dropped the customer off already. I should shut that off. There we are. It's off. Well, I got sent to this address for a 3:30 time call. 3:30 time call. Very good. I picked her up. I found the place. I picked her up. And we started having a lovely conversation all the way. Lovely conversation. She's from my hometown. She's from Montreal. And we just had a wonderful chat all the way out here. It made my day. My day is made by talking to a girl from back home. So, yeah, I feel good. And I can tell she felt good too. Just the way we were talking and enjoying the conversation. Yeah. And so I didn't stress. I just had a very good night in terms of working conditions. Okay, I only got about 220, 230 on. That doesn't matter. You know, I can get back into town and start taking people to work and make another $50, $60 in a couple hours. Not a problem. Or I could get another run to the airport for $50, $60. So, yeah, it's not over yet. So even if I only have 220 on, if I end the night with 250, that will have been a regular night's work from before the C word. And that's often how much I do in the first half of the night. A whole night's work. Now, I'm happy. This is the way I remember the job being. It was fun, it was relaxed, it was easygoing. Not the stress of one right after another non-stop driving. Well, 2 more nights to go this week. Well, it's Thursday morning. Yeah. Yuck. Thursday morning, and I'm tired. Time is now 5:55, and I'm just gonna head over to the car wash. It was a long night. Very long night. There were often long breaks in between calls, and I just felt like sleeping. I just wanted to sleep the whole night, but no, I got sent on calls and I had to go work again. And for the whole night, I got 245 on. So things have been slowing down this week. After that insane Sunday night, then everything was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights were moderate. They weren't that busy. And I can attribute that to 2 things. I think we have more drivers on again than we had. And it's also the first week of the month. So I think that's why it was a little slow. I don't mind it though. For the most part, I enjoyed that it was slow. I didn't have to rush. I wasn't stressed. But I am tired. So now I just dropped off my last customer. I'm heading to the car wash and do the car wash. Well, it has been an interesting morning so far. I went to sleep just after midnight. The time is now 2:23 a.m. I don't usually do a segment this early, but something just happened. I was awakened and sent to an address that was just a little bit out of town. It was like in some farmland, just a little bit out of town. And I got there and I found the place, and I drove up this driveway and got to this sort of farmhouse, sort of ramshackle farmhouse, and this young woman came out, and she had trouble saying the address she wanted to go to because she was half crying and half she was quite upset. But the second time she told me, I got the address and I was heading there. She says, and make it quick. She says, I've just been in a dungeon room and they were strangling me for an hour. And she says, I'm lucky to be alive. I should call the police, but I just want to go home. Well, anyway, I got her where she was going, and the fare was some $18.20. And she pulled out a card and she says, just tap it. And it came up declined. And she goes, oh no. And then she says, I hang on, here's 5. And then she found a 10, so that was 15, okay. And she said, oh, I got some change. And what change she had was amounted up to like 40 cents. And then she gave me the debit card again and said, tap 5 on there, and $5 worked. So she paid for it, and then she left crying. And I even asked her on the way, well, if these people, if someone was, and she says, and my phone's dead. Well, how did you call? And she said, I went to the nearest house and I banged on the door and this lady called me a cab. Oh, I see. Anyway, from sleeping to excitement in no time flat. Now the rest of the morning is probably going to be quiet again. If anything memorable happens between now and 6 a.m., the next 3.5 hours, I will let you know. Okay, so now it's raining out there. The time is 5:35 in the morning. So I'm just about done. The shift ends at 6. And then I'm going to go home soon. I might have time for one more. And I got 225 on now, which is I think 100 more than I had when I came and talked to you about that experience. One of my customers was, well, maybe I won't talk about her. She's a very complicated person, shall we say. And I would say her life is very complicated too. And I wouldn't know where to start talking about her. And I just met her this morning. Yeah, complicated, that's the word. I just dropped her off for the second time. She went to the store to get a few things and went back home. But the conversation we had in between that was just, wow. Anyhow, I'm going to end my week here, whether I have another fare or not, before the end. I hope yours is better than mine.